All right, friends, I think this is probably dry. It better be. It's been overnight, so yep, it's dry. So now we can put our cover on, and all I'm going to do for this is I'm going to glue the fabric on here with the nice torn edges, how I want them there. And then we're going to wrap it around and glue it down on the other side after we cut. So I'm gonna wait to tear it, I think. Although I think I can get this pretty good and lined up. Because I wanna be sure that I'm not leaving too much extra or not enough, obviously. So that's why I think I'm gonna wait to glue it down. So what I'm going to do is use my Fabri-Tac again. And I'm just going to glue on the cardboard itself. That's it for this. So I want to be pretty generous here. And then to avoid any lumps in the fabric, what I'll do is I will smooth this out with my finger once I get a nice amount of glue on there. It doesn't seem to be coming out very fast, but okay. So I'm just going to smooth the whole thing down because I really don't want, you know, lumps in the fabric to show. Now, very carefully, I'm going to line this up, and luckily we do have a little bit of play time, but I'm going to line this up where I think I want it. Make sure it's nice and smooth. And then I'm just going to turn it over, and I see here that this is a little, not as much as I wanted over the edge. So I'm just going to pull that a little bit and make sure I have that right where I want it. I think that looks better. And I have to move that out of the way. So when I look at this opened up, you can see I have my torn edges all around, but it does cover everything here. So we'll give that a minute to dry. And then we're going to do the rest. Now I think, now that I have that glued down though, I do think I can maybe tear my other piece because I'll know what I'll need here. Because I don't think it'll be as easy to tear it if I am, if it's already glued down. So, thread here. And just so you know, I'm not going to glue the spine itself. I'm going to leave that open so that there's some flexibility in there for opening and closing and things like that. Okay, so let's go ahead and tear this. So I'm going to put this over where I want it. I'm going to make sure it hits where I want. I am going to kind of pull it a little bit tight because when I glue it, I'm going to be gluing it down kind of tight as well. And then I'm going to just look underneath where my cardboard is sticking out. I'm going to give myself about 1/8 of an inch, make a little cut, and then we'll go ahead and give this a tear and hope that I did okay there. Okay, and then I have lots of scraps for adding to my ephemera inside the journal if I want to as well with these little leftovers there. Okay, now I got everything sticking to me over here. All right, so now we're going to glue the other side and we'll do it the same way. I'm just going to put the glue down on the cardboard itself that's here. I'm not going to put any on the spine area, and I'm going to be pretty generous with this. Get all the spots, and then we'll give it another smoothing. That one did a lot better. I don't think the other side I got this kind of good coverage, so I may have to watch that front and make sure that it's okay. So I'm going to turn it this way to make it easier for me to smooth out, but I am going to pull it taut over the spine. Just start in the middle and smooth it out. Make sure if there's any of your strings you can pull off so they don't get glued down in there if you don't want them there. And we're just gonna smooth it out with our fingers. And I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it is nice and smooth over here. Okay. So let me give that a minute to dry, and then we will take a look and see how it's doing. Okay, everything is all dry. And as you can see, I just wanted to mention that you can see that the fabric did tear a little bit unevenly. And so there's a little bit more at the top than there is at the bottom. But, I think that's what makes it so interesting, is that it's not going to be perfect. And I love that. So it's all ready to go. Now we need to do something for our cover. So I thought I'd pull out my the ephemera from my Christmas Bounty kit. And I have to pick something relatively small, unless of course I wanted to put something on sideways or something like that. But I have this little Ex Libris here, and I love that the cardinal is on that with the reds in the berries that are on the fabric. So I just pulled out some scrap card that I have that I thought would make a good mat for this, and then a little decorative brad that I thought would be fun on there, just to add some texture, little metal sparkle, that kind of good stuff. So I'm just going to do the cover, I'm just going to cut my Ex Libris out carefully so I don't, because I'll probably use this label somewhere as well. So I want to just make sure I cut out just this piece. If I can do that properly. Oh, and I'm still using my old blade. Luckily, it seems to be cutting my paper okay. So if I cut any more, I need to, which I'm going to. So I'm going to put my new blade back in before I forget. Okay. And I don't know if you know that tip, but it's a wonderful tip. If you have a cutter like this, a Fiskars cutter like this, that has these types of blades, to put it in and out, there is a little notch right up here by the 12-inch mark. And you can very easily take your blade, if you have a new one or if you're switching them out, and it just slides right in that notch and then comes down so it doesn't pop out. But it's easy to pull it out right there. I'm telling you, I searched forever to figure out how to get this silly blade out of here. And I saw someone do it and I thought, well, that's easy, and they should have that on the cover. So if nothing else from this video, I hope that this helped you because I know it helped me to see that. All right, so I'm just going to cut off this other edge, and then I'm going to give it a little bit of distress, and I'm going to glue it down onto my sort of matte paper here, and I'm going to cut that down just by eyeballing it at about 1/4 of an inch around, and we'll cut that out too. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we'll get that done here. Okay, so you can see here, I have it all ready to go, and I'm not going to glue it down because I do want to put this in before I glue it down so that I don't have to like punch a hole in my cover over here. So I'm just going to punch this in. But I also thought it might be fun to add something else to the front, since, you know, this is for this year. On my Christmas Bounty, I have these words, so I thought it might be fun to include a couple of those here as well. I definitely want the 2020. And maybe I'll do the Merry and Bright. I kind of like that idea. So Merry, Bright, and 2020, I'm just going to cut out and I'm going to distress them as well, and then we'll put everything down together. All right, so I haven't decided exactly where these are going to go, but I do like the idea of putting them on the front with everything, so that that's sort of an indication of, you know, what's happening this year, maybe something like that. So I'm going to use this little hole punch that I have to punch a hole for my brad. So I think I want it to be kind of right on the edge, maybe coming off just a little bit, although this is pretty close here. I don't know if I want it hanging off too much. So I think maybe what I'll do is I will move it in a little bit and put it down towards the bottom. So I'm just going to put a little hole right here where I think I want it. And I like using a hole punch for brads so that I'm not bending the paper as I'm trying to push the legs of the brad through. It seems to help a little bit. Now it doesn't help me get the the legs through themselves sometimes. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to try to turn this so that my legs don't stick out, you know, above by the paper. Oh, and I really like how that looks. Definitely. I love it. I love it. So that's going to go there. And maybe what I'll do is I'm going to glue this down first, because I'm pretty sure like I want that right there. And then I will decide about these words after the fact. So I'll move those off to the side, and I'm going to use my 3-in-1 glue to make sure I have a really good hold on this thing, especially since there's a brad on there. I am just going to keep the glue on the paper though, because I think that'll be good enough to hold the brad in place. I am making sure I have some glue on the legs of the brad right there as well. And now we can just place this down. Right there. All right, and let's take a look here. So I'm going to put, I could do them, you know, all straight. Oof. If I can pick them up even with my hand. And they're all the same size. I think I have little glue strands here. But I don't like that. Let's do something a little crazy. So I kind of liked where I had before. I had like, and maybe even I can overlap them. So do merry, bright, and then 2020. Actually, maybe 2020 can go right under there like that. Yeah, I think I like that. That looks nice. So that will be our, you know, title for the book, so that when I pull it out, I know this was from Christmas of 2020. So I'm going to glue down the 2020 first, and then the bright, and then the merry, just since that seems to be how things are layered here. So I'm just going to look at where the 2020 is, which is basically, I have it right at the top of that leaf, that holly leaf there. So we'll start with that one, and then we'll glue the other two on as well. And there's that. All right, and we'll put the bright down. Just like that, maybe. Yep, I think that's gonna work out just fine. I may have them at a little different angle than I had before, but I am definitely not one to be, that's perfect for sure. Okay. And we'll let those dry just a minute. All right, friends. This Christmas journal, ready for me to document the days of this December, is all ready to go. And I really like the way that it turned out. So I have my title on here, Merry and Bright. I have a nice book plate on there ready to go. And then each page is ready for me to either write on, to add some little ephemera with a note possibly on it, or maybe put in a tag or a note card in each of the little pockets there. So I think this is going to be perfect for me to, print out some pictures and just put in some things to document this 2020 December. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that you go and make your own little envelope journal to document your December, or even to document another part of your life. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And if you're not, please subscribe to my channel so that you can be notified of when I have new videos out, and I hope that you'll craft along with me. Thanks so much for watching, friends. I hope you have a great day, a great week, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, friends. Bye-bye.